All right, so let me introduce myself again. Thank you. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to this thing. Whenever she reached out, I never say no to anybody when it comes to doing some motorcycle safety stuff and making people better, because we always be trying to get better. And so I appreciate that. And I always give 2 thumbs up for my classes. 2 thumbs up for you being here, because you're not the norm, as you can tell, right? We're working, talking to people, talking to groups, trying to get people to understand the importance of training and being able to ride your bike at the highest level you were able to. So I appreciate you guys being here. So I'm Paul. Like you mentioned, I'm a Moto Sergeant. Been a Moto Sergeant for Austin here since 2014. I'm also a training sergeant as well. I'm over our training as well. So I really feel blessed to be in the position that I'm in, get to ride for a living, get paid to ride for a living, and get a lot of training. So I really thank you. So I really feel like I wanted to pay it forward to other riders. So what I did was in 2016, 17, I got my in myself. I'm a rider coach also, so I teach a basic course for licensing for different people around town. And I also, in 2018, we started ProRider Central Texas, where we teach police motor skills to civilian riders, basically. And we'll talk about that at the end. So that's kind of my passion. I didn't start riding until I was like my mid-40s, but I found it late in life and it's kind of passion of mine. So I also have a YouTube channel too, also, actually. I almost forgot that. I got a YouTube channel too, where I give tips and drills and all that stuff. So anyway, enough about me. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna talk to you. We're family now, right? I always, when I talk to riders and I help them or talk to them about stuff, we become family. So I'm gonna challenge you here in a little bit, and I'm gonna also hopefully change your mindset a little bit when it comes to training and riding these bikes, okay? So what I'm gonna talk about 4 defensive riding tips. Now in my class, we talk about 30, 40 minutes on defensive riding tips and stuff like that, but I highlighted 4 of them, so I'll share with you guys today. Then I'm gonna talk about some skills and why practicing is important. So we good for that? All right, so the first thing is, to be the best overall rider you can be, your skill level needs to be as high as you can have it, and that's different for different people, right? And also your defensive riding skills, your defensive riding strategies need to be as high as well. You can be the most skilled rider in the world, but then you miss all the clues and indicators these drivers are giving you. Or you can be the most defensive rider in the world, but then you don't have the skills to get you out of anything, right? So if you think about it, you really need both to be the most effective rider you can be, okay? And so I'm talking about a little bit this here. So the first thing is this. So the more you can predict, and I'm glad they went short because I tend to go long, but I'm gonna keep it. Hey, put me on the timer, please. I'm gonna give 30 minutes. The more we can predict, right, the better chance we have of overcoming whatever it is that we're facing. When we get our body don't like to be surprised by anything, right? When we get surprised, we do crazy things. So the more you can predict, the better chance you have of overcoming it. These drivers out here, I call that the jungle, right? When we're driving, that's the jungle. You got lions and tigers and all that trying to get you, right? 99% of the time, or a high percentage of the time, they'll give you an indicator that they're going to do something, but we tend to miss those indicators, right? We just ride. We don't study drivers and the tendencies, so we tend to miss the indicators that they're giving us. So it's very important that when you ride, start actually paying attention at these drivers and see if you can start searching out some of the clues and indicators that they give you, okay? Let's see. I got notes so I can keep on track, because if not. So vehicles turning left in front of bikes. We go to a lot of those crashes. You all know that, right? It's a killer for bikes. Vehicles turning left in front of bikes. And so normally when we go to those crashes, there's 2 things. The driver normally tells us, man, I never saw the bike, right? The motorcycle rider normally tells us, if they can talk to us at the time, will tell us he was looking right at me. So I think where we dropped the ball, right there, see? Raise your hand right here. Happened to you?
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. So a lot of times, so as riders, I think where we kind of drop the ball a little bit is that the drivers are looking in our direction, but we really don't know what they see, right? We don't know what they see. So what I use is this. So, and some of these tips I use, some stuff you may already do, some stuff you may used to do, and then we get comfortable, we stop doing, or it could be new to you, right? So I'm gonna talk about a couple things that I'm talking about, what I do. So anybody play sports growing up, like basketball, maybe, football, so you know, they teach you a good defender to look at the midsection of the body, right? Because the midsection, the body can't move unless the midsection moves, right? So you don't go for all the ball fakes and all that, right? So what I use for the ride is something similar to that. So what I use is the tires of the vehicle. The tires of the car would tell you a lot about what that car is going to be doing, and it takes the guesswork out of what that car is going to be doing, right? Because it's pretty simple. If the tires are moving, the car is moving. If the tire is not moving, the car is not moving, right? Now, we gotta be ready at any time for it to start moving at any time, but for that moment in time, I know what that car's doing, right? So what I do is I'm riding, I look at the driver, he's looking in my direction, that's half a check mark, because I don't know if he sees me or not. And from there, I look at the tires of the vehicle and try to pass the vehicle. Okay, that's kind of what I use tires for a lot of different things. Now, for me, there's different indicators, there's different levels to this for me. So what I mean is this, so if I'm riding and a vehicle is supposed to turn left, and the tires are pointing to straight, to me, that could be a hazard at any time, right? So I'm looking at the driver, looking at tires, all that good stuff, covering your clutch, covering your brake, whatever you need to do, right? Now, for me, if I'm riding on that same road and there's a car that's supposed to turn left, but the wheels are turned to the left, right? To me, that's more of an aggressive posture. Because what does that mean? We're all done it, right? If I get a hold this big, I'm gunning it, right? That's what that means. So for me, when I see that, I'm a little bit more, that's a different signal to me than just somebody sitting there to turn left. That makes sense? Now, when I'm riding at night, we got to ride at night a lot of times for work. I try not to ride too much at night when I don't have to, but at night, I hate riding at night, and this car is supposed to turn left. Why? Because I can't do anything I just told you. I can't see the car, the driver at all because it's dark. Can't see the tires at all because it's dark, and I'm blinded by headlights, right? So at night, way up here when I'm approaching the car that's turning left, okay? Now, you kind of see how the breakdown of that is? Everything's not created equal for me. There's different levels to this when I do it. So that's kind of how I break things down. I can go on and on about that, but let's move on to the next one. Any questions on that?
You got plenty of time.
Okay, all right. You won't give me up. Don't tell me that. This is not my thing either, guys. Just me doing this is, anyway, it's all good. Hope you guys are enjoying this. All right, so let's talk about, so whenever I ride, I like to take out as many negative variables out of the equation as I can while I'm riding. Okay, so let me explain this. So if I'm riding, there's one road I get off on, and when I get to the light, there's a U-turn only, there's a left turn lane only, okay, tracking, there's a straight lane, or straight or left turn lane, and then there's a couple straight lanes, okay? So when I'm making a left turn, unless what I need is right here immediately when I make that turn, I will always turn from the left turn lane only. Why? I've been in a lot of crashes. Some of you may have been in some crashes, or some of you may have seen crashes where a vehicle is turning left from the straight or turn lane, and then a vehicle in the turn lane only decides this is not where I need to go, and you go straight from a left turn lane only. You know what I'm talking about? So then you get T-bone, right? So by me turning from the left turn lane only, I take out that negative variable being T-bone, right? So now all I have to worry about is being pinched in the turn, which is a lot easier to fix than being T-bone. So that's the example of me taking out negative variables out of the equation. Another two examples is as I'm taking an exit, I never exit next to a car that's going straight. I either will hang back till they pass the exit, or I go up in front of them and then I'll take my exit. Why is that? How many people go, that's my exit, and then they just go over with no warning at all, and I don't want to be next to them when they do that, okay? And then I do the opposite when I'm riding down the road and I'm going straight next to an exit, same thing. I will either wait for the car to take this exit, and then I will go, or I get in front of them so they can take the exit behind me. But I never go straight next to the car that's taking the exit for the same reason. They go, that's not my exit, and they swerve back into that lane, right? And you get side swipes. So that's three examples of what I mean by taking out negative variables out of the equation when you ride. The more you can do that, the better chance you have. That make sense? Any questions on so far? All right, we'll get questions at the end. I'll just keep on rolling. You good? All right. All right. This is kind of my pet peeve here. You Harley riders. Putting the bike in neutral at intersections. Nobody does that, right?
I'll wait till a couple cars follow up, and then I will.
Yeah, so,
And stay on one side of the lane.
yeah. So, putting the bike in neutral at intersections or anything like that, I'm gonna talk about it and then I'll break it down. So, we get a lot of crashes at intersections, right? Not necessarily by all motorcycles, but we get crashes at intersections. And then if you're sitting at the intersection waiting and a crash comes into you, who gets the worst of that day, right? You do, right? Because you're on the bike. So at an intersection, it's really not the time to be relaxed. It's really not the time. It's really a time to be focused, having your escape plans, searching for traffic, for accidents that happen in front of you. Some of us forget how uncomfortable we were when we first started riding. Remember when we first started riding, how cars next to you really didn't like it? And the more you ride, the more comfortable you get, and it doesn't bother you anymore, right? So think about it. I'm riding down the road, or sitting at the intersection, going to make a left turn. All right, going to make a left turn. This is the stripe line here, or solid stripe. I'm sitting here making a left turn. You got cars coming at 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, depending on where you are, right? That's pretty close, right? How much does it take somebody on the phone, texting, whatever, to come over 6 feet or less into your lane? Not much, right? So if you get in neutral, relaxing, looking around, you're behind the 8 ball. All I want when I'm out there is a chance to get out of something, right? And how I give myself a chance is I got to be prepared, okay? So I never say never, because never is a hard word to live up to, like you were saying. If I ever put my bike in neutral, maybe I'm riding, I get a bug that's hitting me in my glasses, right? You have that big old bug you can't see, right? Or at work, I have to fix a piece of equipment at work or something. What I do is I wait till there's 5 or 6 cars behind me as a buffer, put the bike in neutral, fix what I need to fix, and then I'm right back in first gear again, okay? If I get to that same red light and I look, and there's only 1 or 2 cars that stop behind me, I'll wait to the next one, or I'll pull off in the park lot and fix it. Because it only takes one time, right? You don't get a lot of second chances on that. It takes one time for you to be in neutral and somebody to come up behind not stopping. We get a lot of rear end crashes too, right? So, we good on that? Right? Yes.
How do you feel about lane filtering?
Lane filtering.
You mean lane splitting?
Lane splitting. Yeah, when you go into red lights, like California. Like California.
No, at a light, like going
Yeah, going up. Yeah.
Or in traffic in general?
Or in traffic in general. So you can't do it here. I know California, I'm gonna talk to you, I'm gonna tell you why I figure. We're family, right? We're family, so I'm gonna tell you. I don't like it personally. Even when I work on the bike, going in between 2 cars is nerve-wracking for me. It's not comfortable. I just don't trust people.
even if they're stopped.
Even if they're stopped, because then for me, it's just, I start getting the bad habits, right? So I try to keep myself more consistent. And what happens is you start at just at lights, and then you get to where, you're riding when they're, as they're stopping and stuff. But to answer your question, my fear, I know it works really good in California because they've been doing it for a long time. The drivers are accustomed to it, they're used to it. Here in Texas, they're not. They will run you off the road if you try to pass them on the shoulder. You see what I'm saying? So I think here, it'll take more time for people to, I don't know how many crashes they will have while people are getting used to that here. And that's the only fear about that. Did I answer your question? Roundabout way?
So
Well, they're working on that.
It's still illegal. It's still illegal.
Yeah, on the legislation, they're working on that every year, trying to get a lane filtering or queuing, like talking about, where at red light on 360 when 100 degrees, instead of waiting through 3 cycles of light, you can go up to the front of the light and get out in front of the traffic. So it takes the bike out of the queue of cars, so it makes traffic flow better, and you get in front of all the cars. That's what they're trying to pass right now.
Yep.
Not lane splitting like White California. Two different things.
Yeah. So again, I don't know if I would do it just because I just don't trust people. I see a lot of stuff out there, being one motor guy and all that, going these crashes and stuff. And people just don't, they're in their little bubble. You know what I'm saying? So, and again, who gets the worst end of that deal? I do, right? If something happens, but people do it. I mean, that's just me. I'm keeping it a buck with y'all, right? Just keeping it real.
Good question.
Good question. Yep. Okay. So now I'm gonna talk my last defensive tip I talked about. Then we talk about some training. Is target fixation. This is something too, man, that a lot of people struggle with, right? You never know what target fixation is?
Yes.
Where you see something and you ride to it, inadvertently kind of ride to it. We see YouTube videos of it, right? People going up the road, only one tree in the whole field, and ride for that one tree, right? You know what I'm saying? And so,
and it's dangerous. It's real.
it's a real thing, man. And what it is this. So I'm gonna back up. I wasn't gonna say this, but don't leave. Stay here when I say this. But I don't think as humans we're designed to ride motorcycles. Because there's a lot of defensive mechanisms that we have. There's a lot of defensive mechanisms that we have that makes it hard to ride these things well unless you learn what they are and start practicing to either suppress them when they come or override them. But they're there. You can't get rid of them. Only through your training. We'll talk about this later. Only through your training and rehearsing and stuff is where you have a chance to overcome stuff. Because when stress comes, your body goes back to whatever it wants to do naturally. And if you don't have anything else in there for it to pour from, that's what you're going to get, right? So target fixation is something that, and I see it, and we got a lot of crashes with people on curves and flyovers, and I'm like, man, what is it that? So the way I look at stuff is that if we all have the same tendencies, right, the same issues, the same apprehensions, what is that we all have in common? There's got to be something we all share that make us have the same issues, right? Everybody has a problem with target fixation, right? So while I'm laying in bed, most of my stuff comes from laying in bed, pondering. So I'm laying in bed, and I'm pondering, man, why do we do this, right? Why do we do this? And this is what I came up with. Okay, this is what I came up with. As humans, okay, we're designed to face our threats for the most part, right? So if I was attacking you, or you're attacking me, we would face head on, right? Now, so I think what happens is this. Whenever we see a guardrail we don't want to hit, we see a edge of the road we don't want to hit, then once we get off the road, we see a tree we don't want to hit. I think our body perceives that as a threat, and so it does what it's designed to do. It stares at that threat. Except for on a motorcycle, until you run into it, right? So on a motorcycle, you really have to do the opposite. Remember I told you there's a lot of things that it's not natural for us? We have to do the opposite. If I get off the road or see that guardrail I don't want to hit, I gotta look away from the guardrail. If I see the tree I don't want to hit, I gotta look away from the tree, and then the motorcycle will take you away from it. But it's not natural.
Yeah, the body follows the head.
Yep. The motorcycle will generally find your head and eyes, right? So you look at I don't hit the tree, I don't hit that tree, and then you hit the tree because you're staring at it. Okay?
Like every pothole in town.
Yeah, right. So what you need to do with target fixation, I bring that up because, man, we see a lot of one-bike crashes, and I think a lot of it has to do with target fixation. And so really practice looking away from stuff, right? When I ride, I practice looking away from stuff. If there's something in the road that's flying in the road, across the road, and I'm going to the right, I'll try to look away from it and make my swerve. You know what I'm saying? But you got to rehearse this and got to practice it. Got to practice it. Because when stress comes, you won't get what you get, right? Make sense? Yes, yeah, it becomes muscle memory for your body, right? Make sense? We good with that? All right, any questions? Any more questions? Am I good still?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Go.
All right. Remember I told you family, right? Okay. So we're going to talk about some skills and practicing and why it's important, okay? This is one thing that people, man, I've been around for 20 years and, I never had a crash. And I'm like, well, what if 20 years and one day is when you get your test? Because you never know when your test is coming, right? Your pop quiz. So have you been studying to pass your pop quiz, or are you winging it, right? So that's I'm ahead of myself, but you got to put work in. You got to put work in. All right. So why do I do what I do? Okay. And I told my guys here at work here about 4 or 5 years ago. I said, hey guys, let me tell you why I put so much work into training. Why I push you guys so hard. Why every time I ride, I'm out here studying drivers. Every time I ride, I'm always processing, always trying to learn, always trying to get an edge, right? Why do I do that? I don't do it for me. I do it for my loved ones, for my family, right? Because I do it for them for supporting me doing what I love to do, right? They support me riding the bike for work, whole nother level of riding. We always put ourselves in dangerous situations, right? They support me in that. They support me in going on trips with my buddies. So I think I owe it to them to be the best rider I can be. Whatever that is for each one of us, that's how I look at it. I owe it to them. Okay. Now I can get in a wreck leaving here. I can get in a wreck going to work tomorrow morning. Right. We know sometimes things just happen on these things. There's always a point of no return on everything. But hopefully they have a little bit of I don't know. Just understand that it's not because of my lack of dedication, not because of my lack of training. It's just sometimes things happen. Right. So that's why I do it, okay? So some of you guys have loved ones on your back, right? You got your wives and your daughters and your sons riding on the back with you. You owe it to them to be the best rider that you can be. Make sense? All right? So, I talk to people a lot, man. All I'm trying to do is change mindsets, right? We all know how dangerous it is, but yet anything else we do in life, right? Whether it be work, you want promotions, right? Whether it be sports, we want to win, right? Whatever it is, we want to be the best we can be at it, except for riding on 2 wheels in the jungle. We're good with mediocre, and to be honest with you, most people are below mediocre. I don't understand it, right? But that's why I talk to groups and clubs and try to just change people's mindset a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Why we do what we do. At work, we practice twice a month, and we research once a year. Okay, so, and I ride every day. I take my bike home. So sometimes I ride 22,000 miles a year on my city bike. That's not including my personal bike. Okay? So how much more you think a weekend rider needs to be practicing? See what I'm saying? Just got to change your mindset a little bit, that's all. But you're here, so that's the first step. You see what I'm saying? That you guys are here, so that's the first step, all right? Let's see. So skills. So in a time of crisis, right, when that car pulls out in front of you, whatever it is, in the time of crisis, it's not the time to be guessing where your skill level is. You don't have time for that. You need to already know where your skill level is. That way you can make quicker, better decisions. Man, I can't make this stop, or I can make this stop. And how you know you can make it stop, or how you know you can pull off the maneuver, is because I've done it thousands of times. If you haven't done it, you don't know what you can do.
Most people ain't there.
Right. See what I'm saying? So go to the parking lot. It don't take much. Come see me. We'll talk about me here at the end. Come see me. But you got to put work in. You got to put work in. You got to put work in constantly, because it has to be second nature to you. You don't have time to be. Precious seconds are wasted. Make sense? All right. So a lot of people, I teach the MSF course, right? So a lot of people, riders, and I tell them in my course when I get done, I say, hey, this is not the end of your training. A lot of people think that's the end. This should be the beginning, right? Some of you probably have to, I'm not gonna have you raise your hands, but a lot of riders, they take the MSF course and they don't take another course till they come to me. Sometimes it's 20 years. And they come to me and they think, and then at the end of the first couple of exercises, like, damn, I thought I knew what I was doing. I just been lucky this whole time, right? Because riding miles doesn't make you skilled, right? It's what you do outside of the road is what makes you skilled. See what I'm saying? So don't take it for granted. This is my pet peeve for training, man. At work, we had, like I said, we had 52 guys at one point until they defunded. Let's not talk about that. But 52 guys at work, each of them riding, they were more than I do as a supervisor, and we had very few crashes. And if they do, they were minor, and I think a lot of it's because we train so much. We train so much. We're one and with the bike, right? We know what we can do because we train so much, all right? All right. So one thing I'm going to talk about is emergency braking. Am I okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to talk about emergency braking. That's the one thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to this, because nobody works on emergency braking. I've been teaching thousands of students and hundreds through my ProRider, from 1-year riders to 30 or 40-year riders, and not one person because in my class we do emergency braking as part of it. In my class, not one person has done it correctly off the first time. Not one person. Now that's something we don't use every time we ride, but when you do need it, you gotta get it right that one time, right? But they don't, because nobody practices this stuff, right? So I'm gonna talk about it just a little bit to give you some stuff that you can start working on. So I think what happens is I work with people, right? I work with some people one-on-one, and we work on some slow speed maneuvers, head turns, all that stuff. And I ask, man, how's your emergency braking? Oh, I'm good. Oh, okay. So the next time we meet, we go do emergency braking, and they're not good, right? One stop is here, one stop is there, ABS kicking in here, no ABS here. So how do you know, how can I make a good decision out there if I don't know about what stop I'm going to get when I'm out there on the road, right? If I'm getting different stops every time, how do I make a good decision out there? And think about it. People think you just stop these bikes. You don't just stop these bikes. Okay, there's techniques to it. Okay, and so you think about it. You're riding down the road, listen to Beyonce in your headphones. Right? That's I don't know if y'all listen to, right? Listen to Beyonce, right? All of a sudden you're riding, and what happens? Car pulls out in front of you, like that, right? Now what do you have to do? First you have to perceive the threat, and then you got to react to it, right? So remember. So what do you have to do? Roll off the throttle, squeeze in the clutch, downshift, check my mirrors. There's a lot of stuff that's going on like that if you do it correctly, right? Right? If you miss one of those steps, but there's a lot of stuff that goes on like that. And that's why what happens is your body goes into that natural defensive mechanism. If you don't put something else in there, what happens is, I see a lot of people, my office is next to the vehicle homicides people's office, so all the fatalities. So I used to go to them all the time. There was a bike wreck. I would go to them, hey man, tell me what happened, because I'm trying to get knowledge from my tool belt, right? So now they come to me, and hey Sergeant, we had one last night, come look at it. And a lot of times, everybody's videotaping themselves, right? And a lot of times you see, like, when it comes to emergency braking, they end up grabbing that front brake lever. A lot of people not grabbing that front brake lever, okay? Why? Because your body tells you, the faster I squeeze, the faster I stop. But on a motorcycle, the faster you squeeze, the more chance you have of crashing. See, it's not. See, remember I told you we're not designed for these things. So now you got to put something in there to offset that, right? So you have to do, your progressive. I'm not going to go into how to do it, but you got to practice your progressive braking, all that kind of stuff, because it's got to be second nature to you when it happens, because it happens like this, right? Being in first gear when you stop. Practice being in first gear when you stop, right? I've seen some YouTube channels and they say, hey, it don't matter what gear you're in when you get stopped, as long as you get stopped. Now it's okay, so let me give you this scenario. You're riding down I-35, going about 75 miles an hour in sixth gear. All of a sudden you have to try to come to a stop, or whatever happens, crash in front of you, you got an emergency brake, you're in sixth gear. Or you're gonna pull off, and then all of a sudden you look in your mirror, and then there's a car not stopping behind you. You're gonna pull off in sixth gear? You're gonna pull off in fifth gear? You're probably gonna stall in second gear, because remember, now you have a drill and you got a rush coming, right? So it is important what gear you get stopped in. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. Because why practice the path half the test? Shh, man, that's a badass stop. And then you get hit from behind because you're not prepared for your part 2 of that pop quiz, right? You fail part 2 of that pop quiz, that's still a what? F, right? We good? So I'm gonna move on to my thing. Now I get off the stage. All right, I'm gonna get off the stage. But really, I hope you guys see my passion. I hope you see my passion for this, because I'm telling you, we sell a lot of stuff, and really, it's up to us, right? I'm not relying on the drivers to keep me safe. You got to keep yourself safe, right? And the only way you do that is really understanding your bike, understanding how to ride it, and understanding what your skill level is, and then trying to improve that skill level. All right. All right. So let me talk a little bit about the ProRider. The ProRider. Again, we started in 2019, and so the class we held in Round Rock at the Marine World School. They let us use their parking lot, and so it's 8 hours. You come in, we do a lot of slow speed maneuver stuff, because it's easy to ride fast, ladies and gentlemen. It's easy to ride fast. You on the throttle, the bike pretty much rides itself. But slow speeds is where people have problems, right? But to be the best rider you can be, you need to be able to operate your bike no matter what speed you're at, right? Comfortable no matter what speed you're at. So we do some slow speed maneuvers. We do emergency braking. We do a bunch of different patterns, and then at the end we'll sit and we'll talk about 35 minutes about some stuff I'm telling you now. Just kind of get your mindset a little bit different for when you're out there on the road. Some different riding strategies and stuff like that. So it's great. The numbers are increasing. People are starting to hear about us and stuff. So come check us out. I know we give you a little discount for being here for that. So I think somebody already signed up already. Whoop, whoop. Look at him. He called me yesterday about it. Yes. So do that. Also, like normally we have a class of about 6 people per class. Sometimes we squeak 7 in there, depending if somebody needs to get in. But we like to keep the classes small, so that way you can have a little more attention and not get kind of lost in the shuffle. If you have a group, like you're part of a motorcycle club, like we was talking about, or you ride with some, women riders you guys ride with or whatever. If you guys want to do a group together, sometimes we do up to 10 on those because it's a little different dynamics. But if you give me a call, we'll get a date together, and you can come as a group. A lot of people like to do that. Some of the club stuff. We have about 3 or 4 clubs that come to us every year with people. So we do that as well, all right? I do also do one-on-one stuff too. You can do private through the course. A lot of times we'll tailor it to whatever you need, what I see at the time. Or you can call me on the phone, and if people call me for help, I will help. I haven't turned anybody down because I feel like more people should be calling, right? So if you want to just meet me in a parking lot somewhere and say, hey, can you work with me? I do that too, also as well. So anything it takes to help people get better is kind of what my goal is. So any questions? Yeah. Any questions from you guys out there on anything? Anything? Pretty good. I cut a lot of stuff, I think, but you're good. That good?
Lottery numbers?
What's that?
The winning lottery numbers coming up?
I think so. I know. Hey, you split it with me? We split it. What's that?
You mind if I add something?
You can. Come on up.
Going back to your first point about learning the cars, especially new riders, have an exit strategy for everything. If you're on the highway and you're coming up in a car, make sure that shoulder is clear of debris. Make sure there's not a bridge up there. You're going through a business area. If you see a car coming through the HEB parking lot, see it when it's 30 yards out, not when you get to the road. Always have an exit strategy. Look in their mirrors. If they look in their mirror, they're coming over. So, like, learn the cars, learn the drivers. Always have a way out. If you get too lazy, that's when shit should happen. So, ready to ride fast or slow, just have an exit strategy for every situation you come across. It saved my life countless times.
Yep. We'll go over a lot more stuff in the class in that. What's your name again?
Matt.
No.
Oh,
Allison. So Allison's proof for that, right? Because she called me before, didn't know her. She called me, and I told her, yep, I'll help you. If for some reason you don't feel comfortable coming to me, I've been to San Antonio before to help people because I'm a little nervous on the highway. Well, fine, I'll come to you then, right? So she's proof that when you call me, I'll pick up and answer for you guys. All right? Any questions? We good?
So